Thank you all for coming to our session today. My name is Joanne Hamza, and I am the statewide trainer for NJCCC. If you attended our morning session, Christine mentioned it in the presentation, that this is the state's resource for students for career navigation. So today I'm going to basically give you a quick overview of everything that's available to the student. I do have a sign-up sheet if you would like me to contact you. Just send me your contact information, and I can follow up with you after today to set up training if you'd like for your staff. So just a little history of NJCCC. It actually is a career navigation system that was created by a research group at the University of Oregon. They're called Intercareers. I'm actually going there next week for their annual operator counselor meeting. It's been around since 1972, so it has been around for quite some time. It's currently in 17 different states, and once a state adopts it, they call it different things. So Alaska's ACPE, Minnesota Career Information System, Missouri Connections, and in New Jersey, it's New Jersey CAN. So it's kind of nice to know that they are the ones that are behind all the content from the site. And in different states, it just depends on how the state would like to welcome this resource into their state. Some states, the Department of Education handles it. In some states, the Department of Labor does. In New Jersey, the Department of Education pays for this resource, so it is free for all New Jersey students that reside in New Jersey K through 12. And we have a partnership at the Hildreth Center for Workforce Development to offer all the training and the staff training on the site. The NJCCC, it does correlate with the career ready practices, especially career ready practice number 10, plan education and career paths aligned to personal goals. It's also used in correlation with the 21st Century Life and Career Skills 9.2, career awareness, exploration, and preparation. So today we're basically going to answer this question: how can I use NJCCC to help students make informed decisions about their future career choices? This is what the site looks like. It is njccan.org. Once an account is open, the accounts never expire. There is no approval necessary, so we don't have to go through the superintendent or directors. Any teacher, any counselor sees this today, likes to use it in their classroom, we can create an account for them. If they don't have an account, they can still go onto the site. They can sign in as a resident, just with their zip code. They can take the assessments, they can do some exploration, but they just won't be able to save anything, so they wouldn't be able to create a portfolio. Once they log in, this is the main site right here. And there's 3 parts to the site. So when we come out and we do training, we train staff on how to navigate around the site. The first part is the administrative site. So that's where you can run reports. If you want to find out what are the top careers that my students are looking for, because maybe we're planning a career fair, or who's taking which assessments. You can run all kinds of reports, reset passwords. You can create parent accounts for students, and basically those are kind of view-only accounts. So the parent will have their own username and password. They can log in and see anything that their son or daughter has saved. The main site is high school, geared mainly towards high school mainstream students. And then we also have a link to the junior site. The junior can be used for middle school students. It's written on a 6th grade reading level. But some high schools like to use it for the special ed population, or maybe for students that aren't quite reading our reading level. So you do have access to junior as well. And all the students, when they log in, they'll basically be at that main site, and they just kind of go over to the upper right-hand corner, click on junior, and it takes them right to junior. It's the same assessments, same questions, it's just the information is watered down a little bit, so it's easier for them to understand. There's 16 different career clusters on the site that students can explore, and those correlate with the 8 key industry clusters identified by the Department of Labor. So this is what has been identified where people are finding the most jobs. Biopharmaceutical and life sciences, transportation, logistics and distribution, financial services, advanced manufacturing, healthcare, technology, construction and utilities, and then leisure, hospitality, and tourism. Once they log in, if they want to explore by cluster, there's each cluster has many different occupations, so there's over 600 different occupations on the site. They're all listed alphabetically, so they don't have to take an assessment to look at the clusters. If they just want to use it as a resource, go on and check out those clusters, they can do that. Once they open up a cluster, this is what it looks like. So it'll have, for example, education and training. They can explore any of those topics on the left, so overview, pathway, skills. It'll give suggested helpful high school courses that they could take. And then they can then delve a little bit more into that cluster and go down and explore a specific occupation. If they open an occupation, this is just a sample of what they would see. A lot of the occupations have videos. The videos, some of them are interviews with somebody that has that job. Maybe they're looking at a job that they've never heard about before. So it's nice to watch that video to kind of see, does this person wear a suit to work or can they wear sneakers to work? Do they work outside, inside, in a cubicle? Do they work with people? And then they can also bring up the wages. The wages are updated annually by the Department of Labor, and they can change the states and compare how much would they make in a specific occupation, compare the state to state. And then they can also explore everything else on the left there. They can look at licensing and certification, employment outlook, so lots of information for the occupation. It all depends where you're starting with your student for NJCAN. Some students are very knowledgeable of what kind of area they want to go into. Others might need a little guiding. So you can start with planning. It has lots of activities for goal setting, making sure that goal is specific and measurable and achievable, realistic and timely. So they can start out with doing some activities. And this is what some of the activities look like. These activities are meant to be printed out. You can use them in the classroom. This is a sample of one of the worksheets, but they also have these reflection questions. For example, what are your personal goals? What are your academic goals? They can type in an answer and save it, and anything they save, you can see on the admin side. So you can pull up their portfolio at any time, and you can see exactly what they've been saving. There's also a learning style survey. This does not lead to occupations, however, it's really nice for them to understand what kind of a learner are they. Are they a visual learner, tactile learner, auditory learner? They take this assessment, and this will then give them the results right here, showing them how high they scored in each area, and then there's also some study tips. Because sometimes it's just one little thing that they maybe do differently that year. Maybe they start taking notes. They never took notes before because they didn't realize they were a visual learner. Now they know, and now they're doing so well, and I don't know why. But this is why, because they addressed what type of learner they are. So assessments. There are several assessments on the site. We usually highlight our top 3, and those are the career cluster inventory, the interest profiler, and reality check. These are the personally oriented assessments. The interest profiler basically is a set of 60 questions that's going to tell them what kind of personality they have, and then match that personality with an occupation. Reality check is, I would say, probably the one that they have the most fun with. That's the one they get to kind of play life and decide, well, this is the kind of lifestyle I want to live. I want to drive this fancy car, and I want to go on vacations and get highlights. Well, all that costs money. So it takes all that into consideration and then gives them a list of, well, these are the jobs that you would support that lifestyle, and this is the education that's necessary for that or the training. And then there's a work importance locator where they can actually use their work values to explore different careers. So this is a little bit about the interest profiler. There's two forms on the site. There's a short one and a long one. The long one's 180 questions and the short one is 60 questions. They can take the assessments at any time, as many times as they want. So they can take it beginning of the year, end of the year, freshman, senior, and they can compare because their likes might have changed over time. This is what the results will look like. So they'll end up kind of figuring out what kind of personality they have. There's a score assessed for each one, and then maybe they want to look at the top two. Then they can explore, well, what kind of occupations fit an artistic personality, what kind of occupations fit a social personality. In this case, these are my results. The reality check is the fun one, and hopefully I'll be able to show you that live on the site. But basically, this is what it looks like. They come up with this budget. So across the top are all the categories. It starts with housing. They get to make a choice. Where do they want to live? And then every time they make a selection, the number in that box changes. And then they end up with this monthly budget. This is what the results look for the reality check. They'll get a list of all the occupations that would fit their salary. So when I took it, it was $72,456. That's how much I need to make to support that lifestyle. And then it will give me, in gray are the career clusters, and then this is just a snippet of the whole list of occupations. So it's nice because it can motivate some students. Maybe that is the lifestyle I want to live. I really liked this career cluster. I never thought about this occupation. Maybe I should. So it's all about planting seeds and just opening their eyes to maybe some occupations that they didn't even know existed. This is the work importance locator. This allows students to use their work values to explore different careers. So they can actually take these cards and put them on the scale, 1 being least important, 5 being most important. And then this is what those results would look like. So achievement and support, achievement, support, and then this is what all the scores are. There are 2 career-oriented assessments. The first one being the career cluster inventory. So this is going to help narrow down their choices and show them what career clusters that they can look into. And then the workplace employability, which is skills self-assessment to help you evaluate your employability skills. The career cluster inventory is about 80 questions, and that's just an example of one of the questions. Go fishing. They are not extensive activities, super easy to relate to, and we just encourage the students, it's the first thing that comes to your mind. You either like going fishing or you don't. You just make your selection. A lot of this is translated to Spanish. All the assessments are translated to Spanish, as well as the videos. So if you have Spanish-speaking students, that's an excellent tool. And this is what those results would look like. So they take the career cluster inventory. I would say it maybe takes them 10 to 15 minutes. And then they end up with this colorful bar graph that's going to show them, here are your maybe top 3 career clusters that you should look into. But it also shows them maybe what they should not be looking into. So maybe they always thought they wanted to go into finance, but they take this inventory and finance has got a 4, so maybe that's telling them something. So it's all about really trying to find the best career that matches their interests. And then this can be saved, it can be translated to Spanish, it can be printed out, they can share it with a parent, a counselor, a teacher. It's just a nice way to kind of, a good starting point.
Can you go back 1 second, Joanne?
Sure.
Are those all links?
Yes. So these are all the career clusters right here.
Right.
So say they want, the next step would be, well, I see business management and administration at the top, let me explore it. So if they click on that, it takes them to the cluster breakdown, and then they can go from there to the occupation. So this is workplace employability skills. So this, there is a resume and an employment actually part to the site. So they can, since these accounts do not expire, even after graduating high school, they can come back, they can update their resume. Maybe they want to take this employability skills assessment and just showing them how they scored in each of these skills. So see, I am proficient in all of them. So which assessments would you begin using with your students today? Any ideas on how to integrate this into your current curriculum? I know it's a lot to take in, but does anyone have, any ideas they want to share?
I have an introduction to health careers class.
Okay.
There are kids put in there that are dropped in there. So this would be a great activity because, there's a health component that just, academic seasons.
Yeah, that's great. That's great. That's the first time. That was good. Anybody else have any assessments that kind of jumped out?
I don't know, like STEM skills, can we use it for if students want to know what they're interested in, like what career focus, but still, like I said, learning styles or certain skills, if they know, they're not going to say they know what they want as a major, but maybe they're honing on their skills. Is it good for?
That's great.
Or is this more recommended for undecided students?
No, you can use it any way you see fit, and that's why, sometimes I like to hear feedback because you can really be creative with it because it's really not targeted just for that college student. It can be for really anyone. It depends on what stage of life they're in.
How long does it last for their profile? Is it
Forever.
Oh,
Yeah, it never expires.
So if I wanted to use it, I would have to get help from you?
Correct.
Okay.
Yep. The Department of Education would create an account for the organization or district that you would be affiliated
So
with.
does it matter that my district already uses it at another site?
No, it doesn't matter. Yep. And then once that account is created, we usually have like a contact person, an admin, that's kind of our person that we, connect with, and then we offer you whatever user support you want. And then you can create as many staff accounts, and those staff members can create as many portfolios as they like for their students.
Because I like, I just did one that I like in pictures. I
Yeah,
can see the kids loving, like, it not being like a assignment, they've
Yeah.
interact with it.
yeah.
Is it limited to K through 12? Can community colleges use this as well?
Community colleges can absolutely use it. Yep.
And is there an upper age limit that works? In other words, if we had a 50-year-old that wanted to do this versus, I was just K through 12, is there anything from the way it's structured that older adults, it would not be relevant as far as the kind of questions that are asked or anything like that, assessment aspects?
No, I would say the main site, the junior, yes,
Oh,
but the main site, no. I mean, all that wage information, job growth information, the way that all the information is presented definitely can be relatable to an adult as well.
Well, I work at Brookdale, and what I like about it is that it allows them to be independent and do this. We have career assessments, we use Myers-Briggs and Strong, but they have to come back. We have to make an appointment, and they sit down with somebody. They're dying to get into it and look at it. This lets them do that. They can share it if they want to.
Right.
And I think our students would like the autonomy of it. I can go do it whenever I want,
Yeah,
instead of having to go to the testing center.
yeah, that's a great point.
Yeah.
I'm actually running a course this semester at Warren County Community College in career planning. I mean, that's the course itself. And currently, we're using ONET in terms of assessment.
Yes.
But this seems that it would be sort of beyond that in terms of career planning. I mean, part of the curriculum of this course is assessing different career interests, developing your resume, interviewing skills, the cover letter development, I mean, the whole soup to nuts. But
Right.
I see this as sort of being introduced into the larger part of that particular curriculum.
Yeah,
Because it's not just about skills assessment, but the whole search process.
exactly, exactly.
As a high school counselor, I really like the reality check because I'll have 17-year-old students sit in front of me and say, "Miss, what do you make, like $30,000? You must be rich." And I'm like, no. And they think they're just
Let me break it
gonna
down for you.
graduate from college and buy a
Right.
Mercedes like
Right,
the next
right,
day.
right.
They have no,
Yeah.
and the interest profile as well. I have so many kids that'll sit in front of me and say, "I want to be an engineer." And I'll say, "Oh, well, why don't you take pre-calculus? I hate math." They just,
Right.
I don't know where they come up with these things. They
Yeah.
just like hear something and think they want to run with it,
Right.
but don't really have any idea what.
That's why they need a reality check.
No, everybody.
Yes.
This is also, you can use this on like Google Chromebooks and iPads.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just need internet.
Do we need to call you to bring you in to, or contact the office to, so we can get access to?
You do, yes. If you want to just leave me your contact information, I will forward that to Christine. The Department of Education, they open the accounts, and then they send it over to me, and then I can arrange with you a training. You don't have to have a training. I mean, it is pretty you can kind of navigate. However, trainings are nice because we actually get to speak to staff members. I get to hear, well, what are they looking for? And since I already kind of know it, I can direct them exactly where they should go. Sometimes some things are kind of hidden in the site, so we can show it to them. We have 60-minute presentations, we have 90-minute presentations. I also have it recorded, so I could, if there's no time, I could send you the link and you can just share it with them. They can just watch it whenever they can. So we could definitely arrange something like that. So in addition, sorry.
Sorry. I
okay.
know you mentioned that there's an option to see reports and things, but
Yes.
can you see a student's progress and like how they've gone through their portfolio development? Or is it just sort of it goes as it goes? Or you don't know? Say if I wanted to assign a certain assessment,
Yeah.
is there a way to see if that portfolio has been reached, if that has been accessed, that assessment?
You can see if it's been accessed, and you can see when, and you can see the result.
Okay.
Does that
Well,
answer?
I-
So if
yeah.
they accessed it again, you'd be able to see those three things again, and then you can compare.
Okay. Yeah, good. Thank you.
You're
Does
welcome.
it, when you go into the, says this through their career, does it go into what major they should study in order to have that career? Because you're linking it to colleges.
You can link to programs of study. So if they are looking at a particular occupation,
Right.
if they clicked on programs of study, it will
That'll tell you,
show
yeah.
them those programs of study, and then it will show them which colleges have those programs of study.
Is it just 4 years or does it include 2 years?
2 years as well.
2 years as well?
Yeah. So in addition to the assessments, there is tons of information on colleges and universities. There's an application tracker where they can enter, maybe they met with a counselor, maybe they have some exam scores, maybe they've applied for scholarships, if they've attended any college fairs. So it's just one place where they can enter all this information. They can access it from anywhere, from home, from a library, from school. And then they don't have to worry about losing that information, and they kind of have it all there. And again, anything that they're going to enter and save, you'll be able to just view their portfolio and see exactly where they are. We just recently made a partnership with Parchment. This was kind of the missing link when a lot of times when I went out to trainings where counselors really wanted that ability to send their transcripts and letter of recommendations off to the college of the student's choice. We can now do that, so we do have that technology, and I can give you more information about that if you're interested.
Lots of information on how to pay for schools, scholarships is on there as well. And then there are alternate routes. So there is information on the military. There is, we connect to New Jersey Career Connections, which is run by the Department of Labor. This is a great site. If you haven't checked this out, I would recommend it. It has a lot of great information, especially about apprenticeships and internships. The reason why we link this to NJCCC is we just want something for everybody. So if somebody's in a classroom and they feel like, well, I'm not going to college, we don't want them to feel like there's nothing for you. They could link out to New Jersey Career Connections. If they go to Apprenticeship Finder, if they actually enter any trade there and their zip code and hit search, they'll have a whole list of businesses in their area that are offering apprenticeships.
In those 600 careers that are included, are some of them like plumbing, carpentry? Or all those careers that this focuses on are professional college?
Yeah, that's a great question. And it's actually something that comes up a lot at trainings, and I have suggested it to intercareers. I would say most of them are the college related, not so much trade related. But that is something that it's on the table. That's something that they definitely are going to think about, maybe adding like a whole section about that, because that does come up a lot in trainings. So there is the employment component to the site. Everything that they need to know about finding a job, just making your job a lot easier. It talks about before the search, starting your search. There's an employer locator, so if they search here an industry or an occupation, again, put in their zip code, they can enter that information and they can find, what businesses have jobs that they're looking for. There's a lot of information on how to prepare for interviews, soft skills, what to wear, what kind of questions to ask, arriving on time. There are actually different modules that they can go through. There's also these PDFs where they can collect information that can go on their resume. So maybe they want to collect all that information and then they can enter it onto the site, and the site will generate a resume for them. So they don't have to worry about spacing or bold or size. It will do all that for them. And these are the areas of the resume. And so that's everything for the students, but in addition to that, for teachers and counselors, there's a PSLP, which is a personalized student learning plan. Counselors really love this. All they have to do is just print out this PSLP, and it'll have everything that the student has been doing as far as career navigating on the site. It also includes lesson plans, so they don't have to reinvent the wheel. Lots of lesson plans that you can download, you can tweak them as you see fit. A lot of those lesson plans have PowerPoint presentations, so you can cater to those visual learners. Classroom activities, there's tutorials on the site, so if there's something specific, maybe creating student portfolios that you just can't figure out, and maybe don't have the time to set up a training, you can simply click on that tutorial. It's about 5 minutes, and it will show you exactly how to set up the account. So that's what I'm saying. I'm happy to travel anywhere for the training. However, the tutorials are really good to access, a nice resource.
Is it all free?
All free.
Okay.
So, just a final thought, a journey of 1,000 miles must begin with a single step. So sometimes I go to these trainings and counselors are very happy because of all the information, but they also feel a little bit overwhelmed because it's just so much information. So you just think of one thing, I'm sure before you leave today, you can think of just one maybe assessment. You don't have to commit to an account right away. You can access this as a resident. Try it out with your students, and if you find that is worthwhile and they like it, then you can kind of make it more official and have them create portfolios and save and everything. But the Department of Education is already paying for it, so I encourage you to use it. So, anybody want to share any other comments or any
I
questions?
have a question.
Yes.
You noticed in that tool portfolio, is there like a, say we don't have a lot of resources to hire a career counseling advisors and all that stuff, and we just wanted to get something out to our students, sort of like do it yourself,
Yeah.
but this is how you could use this tool and a suggested pathway to go through the tool. Is there something like that out there that would sort of like, almost like a turnkey on how to use this product to make a more informed career decision? So if one of our academic advisors, which we often do, run across a student, I don't know what I want, that we can sort of, if we don't have a resource, say, hey, here's a tool,
Yeah.
and here's sort of a guideline to
Follow it.
take it through. Is there anything like that?
Yeah, so in New Jersey, there isn't right now, however, kind of funny that you said that, because it's in our new MOU that we are in negotiation with right now, an implementation guide for middle school and high school right now. Just kind of suggested kind of pathways, how you can use NJP.
What's the MOU? You could design.
Oh, it's
What is it?
a memorandum of understanding, sorry.
Good.
It's like a contract that we have, Rutgers has with the Department of Education. So that
So you
comes
might
up.
be developing, Rutgers might be developing that?
Yes.
Why don't you develop for college too?
I'm sorry.
Why don't you develop for what?
We
Who would they
can-
talk to, because community college,
Yeah,
I don't see as much as me. Community college would really use this, because
Yeah.
I suspect we are resource limited,
mhm.
and it'd be awesome.
Yeah, no, we would absolutely be open to that.
So who would we talk to encourage them to do that?
Up to me.
Okay.
Yeah, we would absolutely do that. I think our main focus right now, I would say, is middle schools and high schools, being it's a junior and a lot of the content. However, as you saw, yeah, community college, we could definitely develop that as well. Yeah, but we would welcome any guidance on that. Any other questions or comments?